other party in accordance with Rule 6 and 7 of the Rules of Procedure. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, the hearing program, which has been appended in today's order paper, details the various activities in hearing and determination of the matter and the time allocated to each activity. It will be crucial, therefore, that all the parties comply with the time allocated. The parties will be notified of the balance of time on each activity through the clerks at the table. In summary, the program states that today, Wednesday, the 12th of March 2024, after we have dispensed with the preliminary matters, the charges against the Deputy Governor shall be read. The Deputy Governor will be given an opportunity to take a plea on the 4 charges. This will be followed by an opening statement in the County Assembly, and thereafter the Deputy Governor. After the conclusion of the opening statements, the presentation of the case of the County Assembly shall commence. After presentation of the case by the County Assembly, Honorable Senators will be given an opportunity to ask questions or seek clarification from the County Assembly. This should take us up to the end of today's sitting. At the sitting scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday, the 14th of March 2024, the Deputy Governor will have an opportunity to present his case before the Senate. Honorable Senators will also be given an opportunity to ask questions or seek clarifications from the Deputy Governor, following which the closing statements by the parties will be made for a period not exceeding 1 hour each. The Senate shall then proceed to debate prior to voting on each of the charges. At this stage, a supplementary order paper will be issued to facilitate this debate. In accordance with Section 33(7) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 80, subsection 6 of the Senate Standing Orders, the voting shall be by county delegations. The Deputy Governor shall cease to hold office if a majority of the county delegations in the Senate vote to uphold an impeachment charge. If, however, the vote in the Senate fails to result in the removal of the Deputy Governor pursuant to Standing Order 80, subsection 7, the Speaker of the Senate shall notify the Speaker of the Kisii County Assembly accordingly. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Counsel for the County Assembly of Kisii to introduce the legal team of the County Assembly and the members of the Kisii County Assembly representing the County Assembly by stating the full name and the designation of each person. Kindly proceed, the County Assembly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Ndegwa Njiro, advocate for the Kisii County Assembly. I appear alongside my learned friend, Mr. Mutuma. He's present. We are also appearing alongside Mr. Mwangi Ndegwa, present. Equally present is Ms. Anne Munyoki. We are equally appearing together with Mr. Gitari, advocate for the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the part of the members of the County Assembly appearing, permit me to put on record the Honorable James Ondari, present. Honorable Jacob Bagaka, present. Honorable Henry Moracha, present. That's our appearance.
Senator Ledama, take your seat. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, I now similarly invite Counsel for Deputy Governor to introduce the legal team representing the Deputy Governor by stating the full name of each person appearing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is the team, the legal team that appears for the Honorable Deputy Governor. Senior Counsel Katwa Kigen, Council Wilkinson Ochoki, Council Kevin Michuki, Council Wilgrida Majong, and myself, Honorable Speaker, Council Silvanus Osoro. Honorable Speaker, the members of the County Assembly appearing include Honorable Amos Onderi, Honorable Boss Mairura, Lillian Gore, and the Honorable Edna Kwamboka, the Honorable Ibrahim Ongubo,
Honorable Osoro, who are those people you're mentioning?
the members of the County Assembly, and who form part of our witnesses, Honorable Speaker.
No. That's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to give the names of the team, the legal team, representing the Deputy Governor.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I also confirm that the client, His Excellency Deputy Governor Dr. Robert Monda, is also present, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Much obliged.
Very well. Now, on behalf of the Senate, I welcome the team of the County Assembly and the team of the Deputy Governor, members of the public, and the media to the Senate and to these proceedings. Finally, I will now invite the clerk to read the charges against the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County.
Order number 2, reading of the charges on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County. The Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, the Deputy Governor, Kisii County, kindly take the stand. Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, the charges against you as received from the County Assembly of Kisii are as follows, and I quote, Charge number 1, gross violation of the Constitution or any other law. The particulars of the charge are as follows. Whereas Article 179(4) vests Deputy Chief Executive power on the Deputy Governor, and whereas in consideration of the provisions of Article 10 and 73(1) A, 3, and 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, insofar as it connotes the manner in which a state officer is expected to exercise assigned authority, Article 75(1) of the Constitution, as read with sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and sections 9 and 11(1), 2A, 1C of the Public Officer Ethics Act, obligates a state officer to behave in all senses in a manner that is devoid of comprising public or official interest in favor of personal interest. The Deputy Governor's actions of requesting for a bribe, receiving a bribe, is meant to compromise the integrity of the recruitment institution of GWASCO, and the same is driven by nepotism, favoritism, improper and ulterior motives, and for corrupt purposes, in complete disregard of the provisions of Article 73(2)B and Article 73(2)C of the Constitution. By virtue of the Deputy Governor requesting and receiving a bribe of 800,000 shillings, he is in breach of the provisions of Article 232, which obligates public officers to observe the values and principles of public service that include high standards of professional ethics, fair competition, and merit as the basis of appointments and promotions, and Article 73(2)D of the Constitution that requires all state officers to be accountable to the public for their decisions and actions. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, violated Articles 10, 73, 75, and 232 of the Constitution, which bind state officers while discharging their duties in offices inter alia, the Gusii Water and Sanitation Company, GWASCO, advertised for various job vacancies in April 2023, and the said deputy governor alerted Dennis Mokaya's father that he could secure his son a job upon paying a bribe of 800,000 shillings only upon his shortlisting and being interviewed for the post. The deputy governor used his office to improperly confer a benefit to himself when he solicited a sum of 800,000 shillings from one Dennis Mokaya and his family in the pretext of securing for him a job for the said post of commercial manager of GWASCO, an entity of the Kisii County government. The deputy governor received a sum of Kenya shillings 799,000 through the M-Pesa platform as follows. The first tranche on 28th May 2023 of Kenya shillings 249,000, sent in 3 tranches of Kenya shillings 150,000, 49,000, and 50,000 by Dennis Mokaya Mosati on 0725-487-300 to the Deputy Governor's Safaricom line being 0711-860-700. The second one was Kenya shillings 260,000 to the Deputy Governor's Safaricom line being 0711-860-700. And the last tranche in the sum of Kenya shillings 300,000 was delivered to his offices in Gusii Stadium in cash. In an attempt to influence the award of a contract of employment to Dennis Mokaya, the Deputy Governor sent via M-Pesa a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Managing Director GWASCO in order to influence her to employ the said Dennis Mokaya, which request was not acceded to by the Managing Director GWASCO, and the money returned via M-Pesa to the Deputy Governor. While realizing that the Deputy Chief Executive Authority vests in the Deputy Governor, was there need for the Deputy Governor to grease the palms of the Managing Director of GWASCO to give Dennis Mokaya the said post. Mr. Dennis Mokaya complained to the County Assembly to intervene in its oversight capacity. Mr. Dennis Mokaya thereafter registered a complaint and recorded a statement with EACC and submitted, among other documents, the advertisement from GWASCO on the vacant post to be filled, his letter of application for the job, the invitation letter from GWASCO to attend the interview, and his M-Pesa statement for the month of May 2023, detailing the transfer of the Kenya shillings 249,000 to the Deputy Governor. Despite this huge payment made, Mr. Dennis Mokaya and his family never secured the job. On informing the Deputy Governor that he would be forced to make a formal complaint to the Anti-Corruption Commission on the matter, the latter threatened his life and his family. Consequently, it formed the former to go into hiding. Charge number 2, abuse of office. The particulars of this charge are as follows. The actions of the Deputy Governor, the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself, and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to the GWASCO Managing Director so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee, he has abused the office of the Deputy Governor and is in breach of Articles 73 and 75 of the Constitution of Kenya, Sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act by breach of public trust, failing to carry out the duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Articles 10, 27, 73, 2B, and 232, and practicing favoritism and engaging in corrupt or unethical practices and engaging in actions that bully a person. The Deputy Governor is in violation of Section 11(1), 2A, 1C of the Public Officer Ethics Act that provides that a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others, and shall not accept favors from a person who has an interest that may be affected by the carrying out of the public officer's duties, and shall not, for the person's benefit of himself or another, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties, as well as Section 61A, C2 and 3 of the Bribery Act that provides that a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives financial or other advantage, intending that a relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting a financial or other advantage, an activity is performed improperly by that person or another person. The Deputy Governor unilaterally used the office to intimidate and cow his family into hiding for fearing for their lives in contravention of Section 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. In furtherance of abuse of his office, the Deputy Governor has continuously diverted county enforcement officers from their course of duty to work in his farm, a portion of land allocated to him by his father. Since he came into office, there have been at least 5 officers working in the farm, a clear demonstration that the county chief, that the Deputy Executive in Chief is misusing the staff of the county. On the 20th December 2023, the Deputy Executive in Chief employed a contingent of about 20 county officers under the supervision of the sub-county administrator to arrest his brother, one Reuben Monda Orangi, for cutting down trees that his brother, Reuben Monda Orangi, had planted. In exercise of his executive power, the Deputy Executive in Chief ensured his handcuffed brother was bungled in the police vehicle and was incarcerated in Keumbu Police Station for 3 hours without an occurrence booking. At 18:30 hours, the OCS denied the sickly Reuben Monda Orangi, who suffers from high blood pressure and diabetes, and he was immediately transferred to Kisii Central Police Station. At Kisii Police Station, the helpless Reuben Monda Orangi was further denied without a booking on the OB and without the option of bail or bond pending presentation to court. At one point, the sickly Monda Orangi had to be rushed to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital for urgent medical intervention. However, on reaching the hospital, Reuben Monda Orangi was never attended to by any doctor, as the OCS Kisii Central Police Station received instructions to immediately take him back to the police station. With his condition now deteriorating, Reuben Monda Orangi was sped back to the police station until 0020 hours, where he was issued with cash bail of Kenya shillings 30. The medical condition of the old man deteriorated to the extent that he was hospitalized at Coptic Hospital for about 3 weeks, and since then, he has been injected insulin, a condition that was not there before. Charge number 3, gross misconduct. The particulars of this charge as follows. The Deputy Governor interfered with the appointment of the vacant position of the commercial manager of Guasco by attempting to bribe the managing director, Ms. Lucy Wahito Washira, with a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000. This was in May 2023. This act contravened Article 75 of the Constitution of Kenya. The Deputy Governor's engagement, connivance, and/or complicit behavior boils down to gross misconduct and gross abuse of office. Charge number 4, crimes under national law. The particulars of this charge are as follows. The actions of the Deputy Governor, the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit to himself, and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Guasco managing director so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee, he is in violation of Section 61A, C, 2 and 3 of the Bribery Act, that provides that a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage, intending that in consequence, a relevant function or activity should be performed improperly, whether by that person receiving the bribe or by another person. The Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, how do you plead to charge number 1, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Dr. Monda, how do you plead to charge number 2, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Mr. Speaker.
How do you plead to charge number 3, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Mr. Speaker, sir.
And how do you plead to charge number 4, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. You may take your seat, Deputy Governor. Now, honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I will allow the opening statement on behalf of the County Assembly. You have 30 minutes to do that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is Ndegwa Njiru. Perhaps before I do my opening remarks or statement with assistance of my fellow counsel, permit me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to draw the attention of the House to the letter dated 8th of March 2024, which letter invoked rule number 10 of the 3rd schedule of the rules governing these proceedings.
Yeah, Senator Mazayo, what is the issue?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It would be better if the Council would be able to guide by saying which volume he's referring to that we have, so that we are able to see.
So as you make your opening statement, please pinpoint exactly which volume you're referring to and even the page where that document you're mentioning is contained.
I'm well guided, Mr. Speaker, sir. The letter that I'm referring to, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the letter that was sent by the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Kisii to the Clerk of the Senate, which letter was seeking to invoke the provisions of Rule 10 insofar as the question of issuance of summons are in issue. And therefore, that does
Where is that letter contained?
It
So
does
that the honorable senators can follow.
Honorable Speaker, the letter does not form part of the proceedings. It's
Okay,
the letter that you referred to.
the clerk just informed me exactly that, and it's being made available to honorable senators. May the copies be circulated to the honorable senators.
I am also obliged, Mr. Speaker, sir. And as such, Mr. Speaker, sir, permit me to make an application pursuant to Rule 10 of these House proceedings, equally assisted by Article 50 of the Constitution, that this Honorable Court be pleased to issue summons to one Mr. David Hagai Oyagi. Mr. David Hagai Oyagi works with the Kisii County government as a Director of Enforcement and Compliance. The basis of our application, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that while the charges were being read out to His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, there was a charge that involved the misuse of the county resources, to wit, 20 enforcement officers were unlawfully deployed to arrest and harass one Mr. Ruben Onari Monda, and subsequently the charges have also indicated that at least 4 county enforcement officers are deployed by the Deputy Governor of Kisii County to conduct and execute odd jobs such as milking cows, cooking for dogs, at the residence of the Deputy Governor. In the application for summons, we requested the Senate to indicate to the said David that he should produce his appointment letter and any other relevant document that speaks to or against the allegations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the summons being sought will assist this Honorable House to meet its mandate under Section 33, which provides that other than just presiding for a hearing of a case such as this one, Section 33 permits this House also to initiate investigations into the allegations so as to determine the propriety or the impropriety of the allegation contained therein. If the summons being sought by the County Assembly are therefore issued, the Deputy Governor will suffer no prejudice whatsoever, as he'll be granted an opportunity to test the veracity of the statements or evidence that shall be adduced before this House by the said David Hagai Oyagi. Mr. Speaker, sir, these are clear tenets dictated by Article 50 of the Constitution, which the Constitution provides that Article 50 is a non-derogable right, a right to a fair hearing. A fair hearing in this case, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the interpretation of the County Assembly of Kisii means that the Senate shall be afforded an opportunity and the facilities available to determine the veracity of that case. Mr. Speaker, sir, the refusal to issue the summons to the said David Hagai will deny this Senate an opportunity to test whether or not the Deputy Governor of Kisii County has been abusing his office by misapplication and misappropriation of the county resources. It's all known to us that human resource is a rare resource that facilitates and wills the movement of the county, the administration of the county. Therefore, the question for determination when determining to grant, to issue the summons or not to grant, is therefore, will the Senate be afforded a proper opportunity to test the veracity of that issue? Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the bundle of the documents that were sent to us and that was shared and exchanged by the respondents, herein being the Deputy Governor, we are making an application before this court that paragraph 48 all the way to paragraph 49 of the document be expunged for being irrelevant to these proceedings, and that the same do not speak to the question or to the case before the Senate. Mr. Speaker, sir, the offending paragraphs which appears, that is the Deputy Governor's...
Yes, just hold on, Council. Senator Mogeni, what is the issue?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the Council is doing very well, But for purposes of us being able to follow his submissions easily, we will want him to make reference to the particular volume of the document he's making reference to, and if possible, refer us to the page so that we're able to move with him.
Council, I thought I've made that position pretty clear.
Sir, I was just about to make reference. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm referring to the bundle of document appearing in blue from the firm of my senior land friend, Mr. Kato Kigen and Kimboi, marked as DG. That is a response, and again, the document is dated the 10th of March, 2024. Mr. Speaker, I am referring to...
What is the title of that volume, Council?
It's DG. It belongs to the Deputy Governor. It's indicated in black as DG, to mean, I think, Deputy Governor. At page E8, 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 E into brackets 8.
What is the issue, Senator Fernandez?
Mr. Speaker, I had indicated earlier that I had a clarification that I needed to seek under Constitutional Article 71 and then the impeachment procedure bill, impeachment procedure under the standing orders. So I wanted to get your guidance and maybe a ruling, because one of the lawyers that is representing the Deputy Governor of Kisii
Senator Fernandez
happens to be...
Senator Fernandez will come to that. Let the parties...
Okay, thank you.
Positions. Proceed, Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I hope the honorable senators are with me. At page 8, paragraph 48, all the way to page 15, paragraph 64. Mr. Speaker, sir, the paragraphs that I have highlighted contains material facts that do not relate to the proceedings before the Senate. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, sir, the paragraphs that I have indicated mentions individuals or makes reference to individuals who are not party to these proceedings. For example, Mr. Speaker, sir, a look at paragraph 53 of the said document appearing at page 9 of the document make references to the governor of Kisii County. Further to that, Mr. Speaker, sir, at paragraph 61, at page 13 of the document, again, the document makes reference to the spouse, that's the First Lady, to the governor of Kisii County. Equally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the pages makes reference to matters of budgets, and more so paragraph 56, 57, 58, at page, all the way to page 11. Those are not matters that forms part and parcel of these proceedings. The consequence of this pleading will only embarrass individuals who are not party to these proceedings, and not just embarrass, but deny them an opportunity to appear and be heard by this distinguished House. We all understand that it's strike law that the doctrines of natural justice, granting a party an opportunity to be heard, is one of the principles elucidated under Article 50 of the Constitution. And as such, Mr. Speaker, sir, the aforementioned paragraphs, it's our humble prayer that the same should be expunged from record, as they do not form part and parcel of the allegations contained in the charge now read to the Deputy Governor. As I sum up, Mr. Speaker, sir, and invite my learned friend, Mr. Mutuma, for supplementary submissions, permit me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to lead the House to page 12 of the document and paragraph F, just to indicate the irrelevance of the evidence contained. It makes reference to the members of the Judicial Service Commission. The allegations are that the Judicial Service Commission, that the effect of conducting county affairs, I may read in verbatim, and files at the personal residence is that the governor's wife attends meetings, makes inputs to official county matters, and serves as both protocol officers and deputy governor, inter alia, the Judicial Service Commission. In determining the relevance of these averments contained in the foresaid paragraphs, we invite the Senate to interrogate the purpose of such kind of averments, the objective of such kind of averments, and whether or not they inform the charge. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, permit me to guide the House to page 15 at paragraph 64. Again, it makes references to individuals not before this assembly, make references to video clips and photos that did not form part and parcel of the evidence at the county assembly. Suffice to note that during the proceedings at the county assembly, the deputy governor, beg your pardon, appeared before the county assembly and filed his response, dated the 29th of February. These video clips have no relevance to the proceedings, and I'm aware that it may prejudice the senators' determination as to the relevance of these video clips because they have not yet been played. We had the opportunity of reviewing them and analyzing them, and made an opinion to which we invite the honorable senators to hold that they have no relevance. It may perhaps be paramount, or it perhaps may be important for those clips to be played for the senators to determine their relevance when determining to expurge the said paragraphs. With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, sir, permit me to invite Mr. Mutuma for further submissions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For record purposes, my name is Elias Mutuma, part of the legal team representing the County Assembly of Kisii. I want to make additional submissions, Mr. Speaker, sir, in addition to the relevant materials before this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, you will note that the charges as read by the House to the Honorable Deputy Governor contain four charges rather. Very specific charges that have been read, and the Deputy Governor has been able to respond that he's not guilty of the four charges. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is the four charges that were prosecuted by the County Assembly of Kisii It is the 4 charges that the Honorable Deputy Governor responded to. It is the 4 charges that this House has been invited to make a determination on. Those charges, Mr. Speaker, sir, are contained at pages 15 and 21 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents. The same are, if I may read, page 15. Page 15 contains the motion. Page 16, we have the first charge, gross violation of the Constitution or any other law. Charge number 2 is contained at pages 18, abuse of office. Charge number 3 is contained at page 20, crimes under national law. And the last one is contained as gross misconduct in the same page. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, in response to those charges, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Deputy Governor of Kisii responded through a response that has been filed in this court, in this Senate, and he has introduced a raft of other charges that he has created for himself and made a response to them. Those responses are the following. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at the Deputy Governor's response, the one my learned friend has made reference to, as from page 8, the Deputy Governor creates new charges that were not part of the County Assembly's charges. One of those is incompetence, budget absorption, budget variation, use of senior staff, mortgage provision, use of personal home for county functions and files and documents, not working with other leaders, use of an official personnel on county matters, and he proceeds to make a defense on those charges. Those charges have not been read to the Deputy Governor, but this House is being invited to make a determination on those matters. It would be a waste of crucial time for this House to proceed and listen to a defense that contains a response to charges that were not part of the charges by the County Assembly. It is on that basis, Mr. Speaker, sir, that we ask the honorable senators to expunge that part of the response because it has no bearing, it has no relevance to these proceedings. That is all, Mr. Speaker, sir.